Hey there, thanks for downloading my pattern for my harvest apron. I'm going to break up the instructions and the example sewing into a couple of different videos. I'm hoping to add a QR code as well as a link, that way you can either download and print, or if you want to just go as like an ebook version, and then you can hit the links and it'll take you directly to these videos. So if you get stuck, just hit those links that I'm going to put throughout the instructions, and let's get started. Now that we have our apron cut out, we're going to go ahead and start with sewing the ties. These are going to be the ties for the waistband as well as for gathering the harvest apron pocket. So this is for the actual pocket. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half. My fabric doesn't have a right side, but if you did have a fabric that, say, had a print like flowers, you're going to put it with the right side, or the printed pretty side, on the inside, so that when you turn it out, you've got the right pattern on the right side. So from here, you're just going to line up all of your edges and pin. And all I'm doing is lining up the edge to keep it straight. The pins are going to keep it from sliding around. I've been sewing for so long, though, that I usually, for this step, and I've made so many of these, that I don't use pins. I just hold the fabric myself as it feeds into the sewing machine. But it's always good to have a good practice and a good foundation for good habits. So now we're going to start our sewing. We're going to use just a basic straight stitch. If you are new to sewing, then you definitely want to check out your user manual for how to thread and get your sewing machine set up for just basic straight stitch. So you're going to sew a couple of stitches and then back stitch like you normally would. And this hem, or this is going to be not quite a 5/8 hem, more like a quarter. So what I do is I just line up the edge of the fabric with the edge of the foot. I find that to be the easiest way to keep it straight. And then you're just going to sew. And stop to take your pins out. I'm only going to... Right, and we're just going to sew I'm only going to do one example because you're just going to repeat this 3 more times for the pocket ties as well as the waist ties. And I'll show you a little hack that I have learned for the easiest way to turn these the right side. Okay, so now that I am close to the end, I'm going to put my needle down so that it's halfway into the fabric still. Lift my foot up and turn this tie, and then put my foot back down. And what that did is it made it so I can have a continuous stitch to go across not just the long side but also the short side. And then back stitch. And that is your first tie. Now you're just going to repeat that with these other 3.